So, hello everyone. How are you all? I hope all of you are finding into best of times. So, we are very pleasured to have your presence over here. I'm very thankful to our old audience who have joined us in today's wonderful event that is Readers Club. Readers Club by Global Mastermind. So, my dear audience, today, before we proceed, I would surely like to acquaint you all a bit of your finding into best of times. Okay. So we are very pleasured to have your presence over here. I'm very thankful to our old audience who have joined us in today's wonderful event. All right. Sorry for that. Actually, I just got it live on YouTube that worked simultaneously. So, anyways, so it's all about that Global Mastermind. Global Mastermind is such a platform which is trying to resource all those interested minds who have many questions in their brains. And my dear friends, in this wide world of information, still sometimes we feel like that we do not have any of the relevant answers to that. So Global Mastermind explores and connects with different experienced and knowledgeable personalities from all over the world and helps to enlighten the mindsets to every other community which may belong to professionals, parents, schools, universities, MNC employees, and whatnot. So, with an untiring journey today, we are going to add few more companions with us, and that is today's voracious readers and adroit learners. But, my dear friends, before we begin today's journey, I would like to give you a little glimpse with today's guest, that who is that. So let's have just this video first. Thank you so much, my dear audience. I hope all of you got to know that who is going to be there with us today. Yes, none other than this is Nina Oracle Matthew. Nina ma'am, we welcome you over here. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me over here, Pooja ma'am. That was incredible. The video was just wonderful. I really enjoyed it. Thank you. Thank you for this fantastic, thrilling welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So, my dear audience, I would surely like to acquaint you, before we begin today's journey, I would like to acquaint you all with our guest of today. So, Miss Nina Oracle, she's certified in child psychology. She's certified life coach as well. And she's the founder of Mind and Me, which is Joyful Learning Center. She's also co-founder of All India Educators Forum and author of PTM Square, about which we are going to learn today, and author of My White Book as well. She is having plethora of skills in her, and if I elaborate all, the day will go on. You know, she's a podcaster on Spotify and Anchor. She's a blogger at WordPress. She's the English news reader at All India Radio as well, and editor of Joy of Grammar book series and whatnot. If I just explore a little more about her journey of achievements, she is member of a London-based global organization named Learning in the 22nd Century. She has published many of the articles in India Today and conducted many of the teachers' workshops and webinars on various topics like effective communication skills, effective online classes, art integrated, experiential learning, creative writing, and you imagine whatever is there, the things are always in her hand. So we are very pleased to have all this in our Achiever the Day. Today's speaker, Mrs. Nina Arakar. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for there being with us. Once again, I welcome you with my old core of heart. Thanks for being there.
Thank you for having me here, first of all. And I want to congratulate you, Pooja ma'am, for this incredible initiative. Let me tell you, I have shared about my book in webinars or sessions, but this is different. This is just the book. Whereas other sessions, it was just a part of the entire session. But here, it is the journey of the book. The entire focus is on the book. So I'm really excited.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Our main motive was this only. We were wanting that people, they do not have much of the time to just sit back and read about the wonderful things, the wonderful reading books, which can really enhance their knowledge as well. So we felt like, why not to just give this 40 to 45 minutes to them, wherein they can have a good book review of any of the book, which is just a success. So that is why we were just, very enthused to have you on our platform. So Reena, let's begin today's journey. So let's talk about your book, which we are going to talk about today, the PTM Scare. Nina ma'am, before we begin with today's book review, I would really like to know that what inspired you to write this book?
What inspired me to write this book? I had always been wanting to write, but that hesitation to go on, typing on the board was keeping me back because I'm really bad at that. And I said, oh my God, all those thoughts I can write. I can really write fast on paper. You give me a paper and pen, I'm there, all set. And I said, all those thoughts, how can I just go on screen and do it? But then I said, okay, if I want to share something, if I want to share with the world, if it is on pen and paper, it is with me only. But once I go online, it will be tedious task, but it will be for the entire world. So that is how what inspired me was to share, go ahead with whatever experiences I have had. It is not a very, commercial book in the sense, because it was done by me and Matthew together. We had uploaded it on Kindle. We did not approach publishers. So you will find, the indenting and the formatting is not to perfection, but the thoughts shared over there are real, are genuine, come out of experience. So I'm really proud to be the author of PTM Square. So that's how.
That's really great. That's really amazing, Nina ma'am. I have really seen this thing that the challenges which you have talked about for the teachers who just when they interact with the parent and the feeling which comes into their mind when they talk about their children, the challenges which is faced by them. We have talked a lot about all those things. So please, Nina ma'am, next 15 to 20 minutes, the whole platform is yours. We would really love to know what is the essence of PTM Scare, please.
Thank you. Before I begin today's presentation or the book review, let me share. I will be brutally honest on myself and I will be dissecting and bisecting the book very honestly with you. And before I begin, I have a poem to share, which is not a part of the book, but which encapsulates the essence of the book. And most of you will be familiar with the poem, but still it's always better to revisit it, right? So here goes. Whose child is this? It's by an unknown poet. Whose child is this? I asked one day, seeing a little one out at play. Mine to keep a little while, to bathe his hands and comb his hair, to tell him what he is to wear, to prepare him that he may always be good, and each day do the things he should. Whose child is this? I asked again, as the door opened and someone came in. Mine, said the teacher, with the same tender smile. Mine to keep just for a little while, to teach him how to be gentle and kind, to train and direct his dear little mind, to help him live by every rule and get the best he can from school. Whose child is this? I ask once more, just as the little one entered the door. Ours, said the parent and the teacher as they smiled, and each took the hand of the little child. Ours to love and train together. Ours this blessed task forever. Whenever I read this poem, I get goosebumps and my voice shivers. So do excuse
It's actually
me.
very pretty, ma'am. It's actually very touching. Trust me, it's actually very touching. It looks like that a child wants to speak you something, and the child has many feelings which the child wants to just pass it on. Wonderful.
Yes,
Beautiful.
absolutely. So this book actually encapsulates this entire poem because it's not the teacher's task, it's not the parent's task, it's a blessed task together to bring up that child. Teacher alone, parent alone, nothing's going to happen. No blame games, nothing. We need to understand each other first, and then we work for the betterment, and the best manifestations are procured for the child. In this book, I have taken up questions during parent-teacher meetings which are asked. And those questions are not just my questions. Those questions are through the conversations that I had with teachers, with parents in the park, with my relations in family. So all those questions are there. Now, it begins with question number 1. Now, question number 1 has a lot of subparts, and it actually elucidates all the questions, the generic questions. For example, the questions related to the syllabus, questions related to the events in school, the calendar questions, or the questions, the structure-based questions, which the teacher are adept. Teachers are adept in answering. They know to the point, they will answer those questions. So that is question number 1, which encapsulates all the questions, generic questions. But I had those questions in this book from question number 2 to question number 21, which I personally grappled with. It were the challenging questions which I came to hear from parents and have tried to answer. So I'm going to just read out all the questions and then take maybe a few questions, if that is okay, Pooja ma'am.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah. So I'll read all the questions. So the first question, how will my child adjust? Are the drinking water facilities there? Is enough time available? What is the syllabus? So I'm not reading all that. But question number 2, can you make sure my child eats in school and doesn't bring back the food home? Question number 3. Question number 3, how does my child behave in class? Can you please tell him or her to listen to me? Question number 4. And question number 5, can you please tell my child not to watch television, eat junk food, play video games, how to come out of it? 6, can you give my child a chance to perform in the next school or class program? 7, can you make my child sit in front? 8, how to help my child overcome the fear of numbers, fear of darkness, fear of certain things. How to increase my child's concentration or span of attention. What is my child's rank? 11, how do I encourage my child to make friends? 12, how to help my child overcome his shyness. 13, how to teach values of patience, gratitude, kindness to my child. 14, how to encourage my child to speak in English or any other new language. How to inculcate the value of time. 16, how to develop my child's interest in reading. 17, how to help my child overcome the fear of rejection. 18, how can I encourage my child to get an A+ in every subject? 19, my child is being bullied by another child. Can you solve the issue? 20, how to generate my child's interest in writing. 21, can you give more homework so that I can make my child sit and study? And the same question is asked with the flip side. Can you give less homework so that I can get enough time to send my child for hobby classes? So these are
all so relevant, ma'am. Trust me, as an educator, I could really feel that parents, they do come and ask similar questions, and they have same sort of concerns regarding their children. Of course, we would love to know that which specific 3 to 4 challenges you are going to pick up for today's book review, and what are their answers?
Sure, ma'am. So I'll begin with how does my child behave in class? That is question number 3. Now, this kind of question generally comes from anxious parents who's, they actually think that maybe the child is too quiet or too hyperactive in class, because maybe they are seeing some reflections of their behavior at home. So that question comes from there. So when I actually thought of writing about this question, I thought, okay, what is my class? What my class used to be every time, every year. So I'm just going to read an excerpt from this question. An actual class, and this is for any teacher, any class, an actual class is always the opposite of what we expect. We have those expectations. Every academic session, we plan and, we'll do this and we'll do that. And we have all those glorifications of our planning. And then what do we have in front of us? In every class, there is sure to be a restless monkey, a cute little rabbit, a big boar, a fierce and friendly tiger, a courageous mouse, a determined fish, a free bird, an imaginative bear, a humble elephant, a hardworking, disciplined ant, an active butterfly, a blooming flower of a leaf blessed with a unique design. All these children, they display these qualities in them. All the children in our classes, they have something unique, something special about them. That is the law of nature. Each child is so beautiful in their own uniqueness. Anyone can love a rose, but it takes a lot to love a leaf. It is ordinary to love the beautiful, but it is beautiful to love the ordinary.
It's so deep. It's so deep
it's
and
very
intense,
deep.
ma'am. I could easily feel that a writer or a precious reader only can understand this. This is beautiful. Actually beautiful.
So I just want to share my personal experience over here that I'm not going to read, but I'm going to share over here. In one of my classes, this was way back, a few years back, there was a child who would just not sit in his place. And this child would be all over the place. I just turn my back and could be on the windowsill or under the table, over the table, on top of the chair, or the chair is, completely, the class would be haywire just because of this one child. And in those days, maybe I was not adept enough. Maybe I was not an expert. Maybe I was not patient enough. I used to lose patience too, like an ordinary human being would. I shouted, I scolded that child, but there was no, any change in behavior. I tried coaxing the child, being loving to the child, patience, everything I tried, stories I tried, whatever I knew, circle times, everything. Nothing was working, nothing. And every day there used to be something or the other, and my hair used to go all over, and I used to just have splitting headache going back home, because there were so many classroom management problems. I used to dread to go to school, and I used to be so relieved the day that child used to be absent. And these are honest confessions that I'm making over here. Then I thought, what am I doing? What am I becoming? What kind of a monster teacher am I becoming? This is not me. Why is this child, changing me? Has this child got the power to change me as a teacher? What am I doing? Then I thought, why not call the parent and not wait for the PTM, just have a conversation with the parent. So I didn't wait for the parent-teacher meeting. I called the parent and I shared, this is what is happening in the class. And the parent said, ma'am, I know actually, and this parent would skip the parent-teacher meetings. Okay, they have already skipped, they would not come. So I made it sure that they come on a Saturday, and then one-to-one conversation I had, and they said that, my child has a sibling who is autistic and he needs all the attention. And maybe that is the reason this is happening. And she related all the incidents that take place at home. While sharing this, I had my eyes welled up. She had her eyes welled up. And there was, Pooja ma'am, there was a 360-degree shift in my approach towards that child. After that, I only saw that child as, the rest of the class is there, but yes, every behavior, everything was like amazing. And how I tackled this with an empathetic attitude towards that child. And the child calmed down. I deliberately used to think of activities of calming this child down. And because he or she was really capable of doing so many things and activities, which I realized towards the end of the year. But yes, then I did have my apprehension about when the child goes to the next class, what's going to happen. So yes, in this book, I have mentioned about anecdotal records, how important or not important they are, and how much, we need to focus on that, because we need to understand the house situation, the environment at home for children to tackle with them in the classrooms. And for that, anecdotal records do come handy. But it doesn't have to be a part of staff room discussions at all. These are really, really confidential things that has to be kept with the teacher. So yes, so that was question number 3.
That's great. That's actually very true, ma'am. This happens, the thing which you have just written with your own experiences, that is actually everybody's, daily scenario, especially an educator. We generally feel this. Lovely to hear from you the solution for it. Okay, and what next, ma'am?
Okay, so now the next question that I have taken over here is question number 11. How do I encourage my child to make friends, or how do I guide my child to choose their friends wisely?
Oh, that's really very concerning, because parents, they always want their children, to sit with either intelligent students or with a very, quiet child who is not at all naughty. So the answer will be that.
See, you have to actually delve deeper into this before even asking or sharing any kind of solution, because we need to understand why that parent is saying this. What is what makes a parent say this? That is there a peer influence? Who is influencing the child? And how does it affect the behavior of the child? So how does your child spend time at home is certain questions that you can ask. What are your child's favorite topics at which her or his eyes twinkle and she can go on talking about it? Who is that one person with whom they feel comfortable to talk? And peer influence is definitely a major issue with parents, because it could be, a lot of things that they learn or unlearn from their friends. So which could be good, but not so good. And parents need to ask certain questions to their children. With whom do you spend your time with? Is this association, friendship good for you? Is it good for you? What have your friends got you doing? What have they got you listening to, reading to? What have they got you thinking about or talking about? Or how do you feel in the company of that particular person? How are they helping you become better? They might not answer all your questions, but at least it will get them thinking in those, in that mode. It will be like, and these concerns, friendship concerns, don't come generally in grade 1, grade 2. It's actually a middle school issue where parents actually grapple with this, that they want their child to be in a certain circle. So it's not going to happen, because your thinking and the child's thinking is completely different. You might want your child to be accepted in the toppers group, or maybe a child who is affluent, belongs to an affluent family or something. But child will connect to another child because they have the same kind of, the thinking. The thinking patterns match, their hobbies match, their talks match, what they watch, that matches. Instead of telling the children to leave this group and join this group, or leave that child and be a friend with this person, keep asking this question, not once, not twice, regularly. What have they started, what has your friend got you thinking about, or got you learning about, or got you talking about? So those questions have to be regularly asked, so that the child introspects in that whenever they go into that company. Now, there is a story which I would like to narrate over here. Do we have time? Yes, we have some time. This is a story.
We have now.
Okay. So this is a story from Jim Rohn's book, which I had read long time back. And this story, I have made some changes, but then relevant to the book. The story is about three friends, a crow, an owl, and a sparrow. They were great friends together. They would laugh and enjoy each other's company so much. But somehow, the crow sometimes would tell and instigate others, okay, let's shout now, let's disturb the quail's babies, or the parrot's babies, let's shout, let's scream. And the sparrow and the owl would want to be in the group, and they're a bit hesitant, but they said, okay, let's do it, it's fun, it will be fun, we are part of this group, come on, let's do it. And they would shout, scream, destroy other people's nests, or wake the babies up, or poop on other animals. And somehow the owl felt that, no, this is not me. I'm not enjoying this, doing all this. Though, yes, they are my friends, but I don't enjoy this. So then he said, one day he said to the sparrow and the crow that, I have eagles calling me, so I'll be going there to have a word with them. So please excuse me. I'll meet you some other time. And he goes. Meanwhile, the sparrow is there, and the crow said, oh, the owl has gone. What is this? What does he think of himself? Come on now, let's have fun again. Let's shout, let's scream, let's do this, let's do that. And the sparrow is doing it, but the sparrow is also not happy doing all those things with the crow. And after many days, the sparrow's happiness from here, it's becoming smaller and smaller.
Disappear.
All those things, yes. And one day, with one of its feathers, it has the wings, it has covered itself, and it's crying. Sparrow is crying. The owl happens to pass by from there, and owl says, what happened? Why are you crying? So the sparrow says that, the crow hit me here, and it's bleeding and it's hurting me. Actually, I didn't like what he's doing, and I said, I don't want to be a part of this. And then he hurt me. So then the owl said, well, the crow hit you because you let him hit you. You let him do that. Be the master of your own behavior. Come with me you know what? There's a new whole world out there. There are eagles, they fly above the clouds. Can you believe it? Can you come with me? And then the sparrow said, okay, yes, here's a friend for me who's going to be with me, guide me along, and we'll have great fun of a different kind. So that is how you choose your friends. Your friends can get you do, think, or speak anything. Choose your friends wisely.
That was really beautiful, ma'am. Very beautiful. And trust me, it's really very, very deep. And I personally believe that such sort of insights can be, developed by only those speakers or writers who get a deep dive into their thoughts, who spend some time in thinking about the mindset of the society, of the problems, of the issues around. And then maybe some solutions comes up. That was really wonderful hearing from you, ma'am. Although because of the shortage of time, we could hear just your two challenges which you have discussed, in your book, that is PTM Scare. But my dear audience, Neena ma'am has discussed 21 problems, 21 challenges into her book, PTM Scare. So if you guys really want to get all the solutions with this deep diving thoughts, do indulge into that, have a good read, you'll definitely come out with wonderful solution. I guess we have Punita ma'am who wants to say something. Punita ma'am, you can unmute. Punita ma'am? Yeah, you can unmute, ma'am, if you want to say something.
No, thank you. It was a wonderful story and with great insight. That was by mistake. I raised my hand.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. So my dear audience, any one of you want to ask anything from our guest, today's guest, please, we are open for your QA. If any of the thing you want to discuss, you want to share your opinion, any of the views, we are open to it. So anybody who wants to say something, I could see, Anu ma'am and Preeti ma'am really getting involved into while the conversation was going on. So, Anu ma'am, what is your perspective about today's book review, please?
Yes. I am very much keen to read it, ma'am, completely, because it is going to be a guide to us. And few questions which ma'am has picked, always we come upon when we sit for PTMs. And I would really ask a question if it is allowed.
Yeah, sure, please,
sure, ma'am.
Please go ahead.
Ma'am, many a times, as you said, we lose our patience, though we try our level hard. But how we can change the behavior of a child who is hyperactive, not ready to sit. Though in our 40-45 minutes period, we don't have that much of time, but we really want their concern towards the studies. How we can get it?
See, we need to slow down a bit. And every day, if not every day, at least you can start with once a month circle time. You can start with once a week meditation time, silence time. Calming activities are just amazing for children, especially at, I'm talking about the primary children. You have, intricacies of art available, Indian art. Madhubani is there, mandala art is there, then Worli art is there, where children need to just sit and color. And then the patterns, we are not focusing over here on the coloring or the art form of the child. We are focusing on the calming part of the child. That needs to be understood, because calming activities come only through these kind of activities where they are just sitting. And I have had times where there is no meditation, there is no silence time, there is only one time, do nothing time in my classes. And they find really difficult
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do, ma'am, let's not do nothing time. Let's do some other time, maybe sleep time. And I said, no, this is do nothing time. So they are learning to sit still.
That,
That
yeah,
is-
that all calls for the involvement, I guess. The more we get involved with our children, we don't have to struggle with their, any sort of tantrums. We give them some chit chat time, and then rest of the time is surely ours. You mean this, right?
Yeah. And 5 minutes of do nothing time works wonders.
Yeah.
5 minutes of meditation time works wonders. 5 minutes of silence time. Now, all these are, you don't need any planning. You don't need any planning for that. But any time of the day, it can be done. You just have to devote 5 minutes of the day. Anytime you find the class is going out of control, silence time, nothing time, or meditation time, all these three will come to your rescue for definite. It's guaranteed.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I guess Preeti ma'am, we'll just take one more question. Preeti ma'am was also wanting to ask something. Yes, Preeti ma'am, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Pooja ma'am. I don't have any specific question, but I'm just eager to ask whatever ma'am has shared. It's really connected with all our teachers. So I'm just curious to get that book and or even through online or a physical. How will get this book? I'm very curious to read the complete book my own. So just want to ask
Ma'am,
the way we can get a book.
Okay, I'll answer Preeti ma'am. Ma'am's book is available on Kindle and Amazon. I'll be circulating the link for the same in our Readers Club FB page, right? Because all the members are there. I'll be just sending the link over there so that all of us, we can get connected, and whoever wants to read about it, surely go ahead. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Great.
So thank
Really a
you
great
once
initiative,
again.
Pooja ma'am.
Thank you, dear. Thank you so much. Thank you once again. Thank you, Neena ma'am. That was really lovely talking to you and getting a little glimpse of your book, that is PTM Scared.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
we really
you,
now,
madam.
get this is the main purpose. We get a little antu to read about the things. We come to know that, okay, this essence is there lying in this specific book. So we can surely go ahead and then read about that. So that is the motive behind of Readers Club of Global Mastermind. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for being with us. And thanks to all the participants, Aru ma'am, Preeti ma'am, especially Punita ma'am, Swatsama ma'am, Neha ma'am, Punita ma'am, and Wish Lakshmi ma'am. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Okay, and Dr. Iman. Yes, I would surely like to make one more announcement. I don't know Dr. Iman at present can enable the video or not. So, but one announcement for all the club members of Global Masterminds Readers Club. Next month, we are coming up with one more wonderful book review by Dr. Iman. Dr. Iman, she's from Egypt. And if I just talk about her, she's such a wonderful and dedicated lecturer and very high-skilled researcher and trainer. She has trained various science-related subjects to undergraduates, postgraduates, to doctorals, to postdoctoral levels, and she has special interest in phytochemistry, plant physiology, and so many things. So she's going to talk about her book that is, it's about structure of the paper. And if I just simply talk about the book is Alphabet of a Scientific Paper, the journey of a paper, wherein we'll surely get a very deep dive again about the structure of a paper, the simplification of scientific writing of paper, and something really gonna to come very amazingly. So we'll be just meeting next month as the speaker of the month to Dr. Iman, who is there from Egypt. Thanks, Dr. Iman, for joining us today as well. I hope you can hear me, Dr. Iman. Okay, anyways. So thank you so much once again, dear audience. Thanks for joining our Readers Club. Thanks to the speaker of the month, that's Neena Rakil ma'am. Thank you, one and all. We'll meet next month in our next Readers Club meeting. Thank you, one and all. Keep reading and let's continue this journey from eyes to expressions. Thank you so much, one and all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, Pooja ma'am. It was a good initiative. Congratulations from heart.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Big congratulations to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All the
We
best.
agree.